If we're all going to die anyway, does effort still mean anything? This isn't teenage brooding. It's a formal problem in philosophy, the challenge of nihilism. If everything eventually vanishes, your achievements, your name, eventually the sun itself, doesn't every effort come to zero on the final ledger? Plenty of brilliant people have been trapped by this question and spent the rest of their lives armored in whatever. We all die in the end, so why try so hard? You've probably heard a friend say it, half joking, at a party. Or maybe you've said it to yourself on some exhausted night. It sounds like seeing through the game, like detachment, even wisdom. That sentence isn't actually a conclusion. It's a door, and behind it, two completely different roads. One leads to paralysis. The other leads to the greatest freedom of your life. The French philosopher Albert Camus said we have three responses to the absurd. The first is physical escape, ending one's life. He rejects it outright. The second is sneakier, philosophical surrender, inventing a comforting answer and hiding inside it, never asking again. The third is his, revolt. See clearly that the universe offers no meaning. Then lift your head and live anyway. Live hard, and let that posture itself answer the silence. He told it through a myth. Sisyphus, punished by the gods, must roll a boulder up a mountain forever. At the summit, it rolls back down, and he begins again, eternally. The gods believed they had designed the cruelest punishment, labor without hope. But Camus fixes his gaze on a moment everyone overlooks. After the boulder rolls down, Sisyphus walks back down the mountain. On that walk, he sees his situation with total clarity. No illusions, no self-deception. And then he walks to the stone and pushes again. In that moment, says Camus, he is greater than his fate. The essay's final line, one must imagine Sisyphus happy, because the boulder is his, the mountain is his, and the choice, knowing everything, continuing anyway, is the one thing the gods cannot confiscate. You think death drains effort of its meaning? Run this thought experiment. Suppose you cannot die. Immortality. Infinite time. Should you learn that skill today? Doesn't matter. 1 billion tomorrows remain. Confess your feelings to the person you love? No rush. Time is literally endless. Repair things with your father? Later. Later never runs out of stock. Do you see it? Within infinite time, nothing is urgent, and therefore nothing is weighty. In a game that never ends, goals mean nothing. In a life that never ends, choices weigh nothing. So the truth is the exact opposite of the intuition. Death doesn't make everything meaningless. Death is what finally makes anything matter. The deadline isn't meaning's enemy, it's meaning's source. Your life is precious by the same logic as a limited edition. No reprint. The Roman philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius reminded himself in his meditations, death can only take from you the present, because the past is no longer yours. It exists only in memory. And the future was never yours. It exists only in imagination. What you actually possess, from beginning to end, is this one small slice. Now. That thought inverts the entire architecture of the fear. You're afraid death will steal your whole life. But your life was never delivered to you in one shipment. It's issued moment by moment, which makes the method for defeating death almost absurdly simple. Use each issued moment well. From a person who has fully used this moment, death can steal astonishingly little. The ancient Chinese didn't agonize over absurdity. They went straight to the answer. The Zhuozhuan, an ancient chronicle history, names 3 immortalities. Establish virtue, establish deeds, establish words. In modern terms, the people your character shaped, the useful things you built, the ideas and works you leave behind. These three keep operating after your heartbeat stops. Confucius didn't live past 73, but do not do to others what you would not want done to you, has lived 2,500 years and still governs behavior today. That is the practical method of dying without perishing, writing part of yourself into other people's lives. Finally, the most practical thing in this episode: a filter. Take a sheet of paper and ask, if no one will remember this thing I do, and there is no reward at the end, would I still do it? Now run your daily life through that sieve, item by item. Some things collapse instantly. Turns out you were doing them for an audience. And some things hold steady. Writing, caring for your family, honing your craft, being good to people. Whatever survives the sieve, that is your real life. The best use of "we all die anyway" was never to delete everything. It's to delete what doesn't matter. Death will take everything, except how you lived. That one, not even time can touch. Leave a comment with what you're taking away from today. Subscribe. Every day, a little closer to understanding life. See you tomorrow.